Good morning. Good morning. Make sure you say hello when you get here and let me know that you're here. All right, let me get back over to this one. All right, now let me find it on my phone. So give me just a second. Oops, the wrong thing. Here we go. Am I going to the right place? There we go. And like I said, once you get here, let me know that you're here. Say hello in the comments. All right. Well, it's a beautiful morning this morning. It's already quite toasty outside, with the humidity and everything, it's quite toasty outside. Good morning, Wendy. Good to have you here. And so hopefully I'm going to have time to water the flowers before I start working. But if not, I'll have to water them in between. But it's going to be kind of in the need of it today. So this morning, beautiful there too. Yeah, I imagine it is. I can't think of a time other than during the middle of a hurricane that it wouldn't feel beautiful there. maybe, maybe there are some people that are enlightened enough that it still feels beautiful then too, but I think it would not be as fun and beautiful in that moment. So hopefully all the hurricanes that get produced this year during hurricane season stay far away, right? So I was thinking, yesterday I had such a challenge or a interesting adventure actually getting on and sharing with you guys. We finally broke free from a horrible humid spell. It's gorgeous out. Ooh, I love it. I love it. The thing is that I noticed yesterday that there were certain things that were just popping up in my feed and that I thought was really important to share. And I shared one the other day, it might have been the day before, I can't remember, into the group. And it was a video where Drew Barrymore was talking to Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler, and they were talking about how they felt when they get up. Like Jennifer Aniston said, she could not be a keynote speaker because of all these things. And it's like I had shared with you that one of my clients is a keynote speaker, but she can do that because she's scripted. She knows exactly what she's going to say, and she knows the whole process. But to get in front of in a crowd of people that she didn't know, even some that she did know. Hey, good morning, Wendy. Good morning. And good morning, Kimmy. Glad to have you here. But the thing that I thought was interesting, like when Michelle reached out to me about the hypnosis, it was because she couldn't even go to a networking event without breaking into a sweat and hiding in the corner. And she said, I've got to do something different. And so we were able to take care of that. Right. But the reason I shared that piece into the group is to let you know that everybody has a level of degree of all of that angst that goes on. Right. Oh, I love that, Wendy McDowell. Kimmy, we shall make you an honorary Wendy. Kimmy, that's your new nickname, Wendy. Let's see. Wendy Unger says, God willing, we will probably be dodging storms next week, maybe changing itineraries with our cruise. Oh, yeah, that's right. You are going on a cruise. Oh, well, I know one of the cruises that I was on, it wasn't even hurricane season, and we had to divert around certain islands, and we had to completely change everything because of the way the storms were out in the ocean. And I lived through it. That's the thing in the moment. I didn't think I was going to, but like I said before, I was glad that wasn't my first cruise. I don't know if I ever would have cruised again because it was very, um, it was very reminiscent of the not the Titanic, but what was the one that was back in the 70s? Um, Hell, like all of a sudden I can't think of the name of the movie, but anyway, it was. Well, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Probably midnight, then I'll get on here and I'll tell you. But I was sharing the reason that I shared that thing with Drew Barrymore in interviewing them was to let you see that, if you have some of those feelings, you're not alone. That is what most people have. And it's like even Tony Robbins, Poseidon Adventure. That's it, Wendy. That's it. That's it. But even Tony Robbins says that he has those feelings, but he just turns it into excitement, which is what one of the things that I suggest you do. And it's just reframing it and utilizing that feeling to be a better speaker. But then yesterday, the one that came up for me was the one with from Friends. What the hell? What is wrong with my memory this morning? It's like, holy smokes. Maybe I need another cup of coffee. Lisa Kudrow. See, that's all it needed was just a little sip of coffee, and I could think of it. So anyway, she's doing like a commencement speech at a college, and I don't even know which one it was. Can you all help me come up with a name for a nonprofit focused on supporting adults who are impacted by? Wait a minute. Impacting by experiencing domestic violence as a child. Yes, we shall work on that. Yes, Wendy, that's right. It's Lisa Kudrow. She plays Phoebe. So anyway, in her speech, she talks about how, and she gives you a rundown about before she found Friends, got the cast and Friends, all the things that she went through. She got fired from Frasier, and she tried out for a lot of different things, and it didn't work out and all. And then one of the things she was reminded of when she was talking with the producer of Friends, that he reminded her, or a friend of hers reminded her, that if she had stayed on Frasier, she wouldn't have been available. And if these other things that she had tried to do had worked out, she wouldn't have been available. And Friends was big for her, right? And so a lot of times we tend to feel like things are happening to us. And I know we've talked about this so many times, but for whatever reason today, it feels like the right thing to talk about. And so maybe you're going through something. I know there's been times that I'm going through something, and I've had some issues in the past few weeks that I'm working through. And so the thing is that if we can start looking at it as there's a different path for us, and that's not the right thing, right? And, when we're, I've talked many times about if we're the reason Phoebe's your favorite. Yeah, I love her. I love her. She's so out there, right? And the thing too is, like I've talked about, when you have a coach, you can't, I know this is probably a horrible phrase, but for whatever reason, it's the one that comes up. You can't see your shit when you're in it. It's like you're sunk in, you're there, and you get this idea of something that you want to do, and it's not working out, and you just feel like, well, what have I done wrong? Why did it not work out? What's the message here? And you start going down all that stuff. But maybe if you had a coach that's out here looking down, they can say, ooh, I can see why that didn't work out, because there's this opportunity over here. Like, what if she had this fairy godmother or this coach that could look at it, and they knew where things were going to go, and they could say, don't sweat it, baby. There's this thing coming up over here that's going to blow your socks off. And then the next thing happens. Oh, don't sweat it, baby. There's still something coming. And I think there's always always something coming that's the light at the end of the tunnel, the next big thing, the thing that's going to light us up and be the answer to all the things that we're wanting to do. But we get stuck in that moment of things, right? And so it's recognizing, or maybe we can start looking at every time something comes up that doesn't pan out the way we expected, to just look at it and say, it's okay, baby. It's okay, because there's this thing over here is going to blow your socks off. And if that had worked out, you would not have been available. And so that's kind of how I'm feeling about all this morning. And I just really wanted to elaborate on that and share on that. So let me get to the affirmation and the journal prompt today. That's right, Wendy. Always something coming, something great. Because, some of those pessimistic people that you listen to, when you talk about the light at the end of the tunnel, they say it's a train. And I would hate to be those people. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? All right. So today's affirmation, and let me see if I got anything going on over here. Yes, I got a couple of people on Instagram. And so if you want to, um, um, let's see, I think Darcy, that's one of those is Darcy. I'm thinking it's hard for me to see. The little picture is so small, but hey, Darcy. And maybe that's Trudy. Hi, Trudy. So good to have you here joining us. And hopefully, this is something that resonates with you as well. And so, our affirmation, I trust that everything is always working out for my highest good. So, it's a lot of stuff packed in that one phrase, right? I trust that everything, not just some of the things that are good, the things that feel good, the things that light me up, because there's polarity in everything, right? So when we can recognize how amazing things are, it's because we've had some darkness there that has put us out to see there's a different difference. It's like night day, right? We wouldn't even recognize that it had turned night if it didn't get dark. Just think about people that live in Alaska. To me, that's got to be so bizarre that you don't have the it doesn't get dark at this particular time. It stays light. I can't. Isn't it Alaska? I'm thinking, but it's like that's bizarre to me. And when they talk about the circadian rhythm of your body, how does that affect it, right? I know that's all totally off topic, but that's just something that comes up when I think about that. How does your circadian rhythm flow with that? I mean, it's a natural thing that goes through your body. You wake up when the sun comes up. You start going to settle down when the sun goes down, right? So how does that affect it? I don't know. I'd just be curious. I know my daughter used to have a roommate when she lived in Denver that was from Alaska, and I wish I had thought to ask her, but I don't think I did. Let's see what's going on over here. All right. So the affirmation, I trust. Trust is a big thing, right? It's trusting in yourself. It's trusting in God. It's trusting in your faith. It's trusting in the universe, your higher power, right? I know that in my life, that's just the way it is. Thank God. Okay, that everything works out. Beautiful, beautiful. I think that's what you're saying, right, Wendy? Wendy Unger. I have to. There's Wendy's and Wendy's, so I just need to make sure I'm talking to. And I even have a coffee cup that says everything is always working out for me. And I'll get it out sometimes when I feel like I need it's not that I need a reminder, but I just like to see it. And looking at it's not just some things. It's not the things that feel good. It's all of the things, even when it feels like it was a catastrophe. That's one of the things I've shared too. I share people's stories on my podcast because things that are horrific can put people into this beautiful place. And let's see, is that Darcy? Darcy, if that's you, say hello. if you're still there, because I had Darcy on my podcast and she's got a story to tell, right? And it's created this new life for her, even though, she's gone through stuff. And, almost everybody on my podcast has gone through something that puts them into this new place of wanting to help, or becoming a coach, or becoming a mentor. Like one of them became a nurse. So there's all these different ways that people utilize this thing that happens in their life. And it doesn't have to be a tragedy that throws you into this place, right? All it needs to be is something like we talk about the um, the journey of, the hero's journey. That's what it is. And it's like there's something going on, you're not happy, and it gets to be really big, and then you make a change, and then you have this hero's journey, right? And so what's your hero's journey? And then recognize that whatever has happened did put you in this place. Like I talk about our mosaic life in my podcast, because it's all the little bits and pieces of the things that have happened to us throughout our lives that have created the amazing humans that we are right here in this very moment, right? And so it's recognizing that everything is always working out for my highest good. And one of the things to me that I love about that is it's because it's not just everything is working out for me, right? It is everything is working out for my highest good. And so if it's my highest good, then that means it affects the good of others as well, because you can't get to your highest good without it trickling out into those around you. And whether that's just with your vibration, your emotions, your joy, maybe your highest good is that. Maybe your highest good is all of that plus some financial abundance, and then you trickle that out too. Maybe your highest good is you get to this beautiful place in your life to where you're able to say, hey, I came through this, you can too. And then you help lift people up. So all the things that come up as your highest good, your blessings, your gifts in life that help you to get there, then it trickles out, right? Great. Good morning. Good morning, Sean. Glad to have you here. And so let's look at this again. I trust that everything is always working out for my highest good, always for my highest good. And so make sure you put this on your sticky notes, your index cards, your screensaver on your phone, put it on your mirror with a chalk marker. Heck, if you want to put it on a poster board and stick it on the refrigerator, it doesn't matter, as long as you have got this in your sights, so that today can be a complete reminder that regardless of what's going on around you, it's always working out for your highest good. And I know there's times in my life that it was like, it was a hard stretch to see something and feel that it was for my highest good. Many, many times. And before I started doing this work, I didn't believe it at all, right? And, not too long ago, I had you do this exercise where you go back and look at the challenges in your life and see if you can figure out what it was you were supposed to learn from it. What was the gift in it, right? And if we can look at everything as it has a gift in there, it opens up the world and our life to being so much more magnificence and magic and joy and peace and fun, right? Because how can you look at anything like that and feel downtrodden, right? Now you might drop into it momentarily because we're human, right? So you look at something that you went through and it may deflate you sometimes, or maybe it rears its head again in a different way and it deflates you. But the thing is that's what we're all here for, is to help you, lift you up, and be there for you, right? So if there's something that you're going through, share it in the group. Or if there's somebody that really resonates with you in the group, private message them and say, hey, I've got this thing coming up. Would you just want to listen? And so there are so many ways that you can utilize this amazing community to lift you up, lift your spirit. So if you're having a hard day, and the affirmations and the journal prompts are great, but maybe you need something more, reach out to someone, reach out to me. That's what we're here for, right? Is to lift each other up and to help each other be that catalyst of standing up and standing out and telling others that, hey, you've got this, right? Let's see. The prize is always the gift, I guess. The gift is always there. Yes, yes. I keep having to look because for some reason I think I didn't clean my glasses well enough. It's like I can't read that over there. And plus I don't want to be constantly be looking down there. All right, so let's see what we got going over here. Anything? All right. So now, are you guys ready for the journal prompt? Say yes. Say yes. I'm going to take another sip of my coffee. I may need to remember something else. All right, let's get it. Am I going to get a yes in there somewhere? Let me see. Is my feed doing the thing over here? Come on, just one yes. You can do it. Windex and a paper towel, my husband's secret to cleaning glasses. Well, see, I don't think I can use Windex on mine. They have that coating that's supposed to be a non-glare, and then it has the coating for the that transition thing. So I have to be careful with that. Ready for prompt? Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. All right, our journal prompt. What recent experiences have shown you that things are working out in your favor, even if they didn't seem so at first? And so this is going to be a great day for exploring that. You know, we explored it a little bit before, but it was like, what was the gift in it and everything? So this one is just a little bit different because to me, it bears repeating. It's like when I saw that video with Lisa Kudrow talking about that, I just had to share it with you guys. And so then when I got up this morning, I thought that was such a big thing for me to see and hopefully for others as well. So I thought, this is what we need to do, right? We have that too. What does that mean? We have that too. Maybe I said something and I don't remember it. Okay. So what recent experiences have shown you that things are working out in your favor, even if they didn't seem so at first? So it's going back and looking at the different things that you thought were a setback, things that you felt like, that didn't work out at all. The ones that said, that's not how I thought this was going to work out. Because we have all of those little phrases like, same counting on hindsight. Okay. Is that what that means? Coding on. Oh, I got you on the glasses. Oh, God. Okay. See, I got totally lost. Yeah, I have to be mindful of that. But I'm telling you, I probably need to go soon and get my eyes checked and get new glasses because it feels like maybe the coating's messing up or something. But they are harder to keep clean now than they were, and maybe I just have more oils on my hands because I've been putting it on my face, right? But anyway, back to the journal prompt. When we are looking at the things in our past, if we have any of those phrases that I wish that hadn't happened, why did that have to happen to me? Why do things not work out? All of these types of phrases are things that we definitely want to look at. We want to look at them and see what it was about that maybe sent us onto a different trajectory, right? And so it's there's been lots of times that I've thought things were going to be like, this is what I'm going to do, and then it's going to lead me to here, and lead me to here, and lead me to here. That's how I've thought sometimes, and it's like, I'm sure you've seen the drawing. It says how I thought my life was going to be, and it would be this, this little thing, a little line going up, maybe a little dips and stuff, but not much. And it says this is what happened. And it's like there's lines where they're just all over the place, right? So our life can take massive changes, and it's recognizing that they were all for our greater good. They were all to get us to the place where we are now. Or maybe it's not even the place we are right this minute. Maybe it's all because there's this other thing that's right over here that we don't even know is there waiting on us. It's calling to us. It's pulling us. It's a magnetic pulling us. And then we're pulling it to us. And so we're just going to meet up in this crescendo of amazing symphony of notes that just, it's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that things were going to turn out this way. And so just think about it. Wouldn't that be amazing? Let's just say 6 months, a year from today, that we look back at this and we say, wow, look at how different things are, because that crescendo of magical notes showed up here when I was least expecting it, and in a way that I could have never in my wildest dreams created on my own, right? And it's like I've shared before too, that a lot of times if somebody asks me what kind of gift I want, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? I don't want to tell them, because their imagination can find the most amazing gifts. And if I tell them what I want, I get what I want, but it could be so much more than what I could have even imagined for myself, right? And so I think that that's the way life is too. We can say what we want, but if we can just release the journey of getting there, whew, it can be the most delicious journey we could ever have. If we can look at it as things are happening before me, right? They're all happening for me to get me to the journey that I would be best for my highest good, right? And so today, hold on, let's see, is there anything? Okay, I'm just wanting to make sure I'm not alienating anybody. So if you've got something that's bothering you now, take this approach to it too. Not only looking back at some things that may have happened in the past and how they've helped you to get to where you are, but if where you are is not where you want to be, then just recognize that this is part of the journey too. And the same reason that when we create a trip that we're going on, we don't want, if the only thing that we wanted to enjoy was the end of the destination, then we might as well just, like Abraham Hicks has said this before, if that's the only thing you wanted was the end result, then why even start? Because if you're on your journey, if you're leaving from your home, you go there and you come back, then it's the journey there and back that is the most fun. You have fun when you get to where you're going, and then there's the journey back. But it's the journey that lights us up, the journey that helps us grow, that helps us to be who we want to be, right? And so fall in love with the actual journey. And sometimes it's asking a lot, right? Sometimes it's asking a lot to say, oh, I'm so glad I just experienced this because it's part of my journey. But if you could adopt that, and you won't be able to adopt it all the time, right? There'll be times that you'll fall into, oh, and that's okay. The thing is as you're practicing this and you're coming and you're growing and you're learning and becoming who you want to be, then when those moments pop up, they're very fleeting. Whereas in the past, maybe you would have dove headfirst into that, right? and had a pity party, called everybody you knew, talk about it, and you would have just had this party that went on of despair that might go on for a week, might go on for a month, who knows, right? The thing is that as you grow and you become, those things that put you down into the little pit, that you don't stay there long, and you just have these springs on the bottom of your feet. I like to look at it as those moon shoes that I used to see advertised many, many years ago when I was a little kid. And they had these springs or something in them, and so you could bounce around. And so it's almost like that, that you fall into this despair of why things aren't working out. And then it's like you pop down and whoop, right back out you are. And you say, oh, it's all for my greater good. What's the lesson I can get from this? And just enjoy the journey. And remember, part of your journey is transporting you to different places that you wouldn't have even decided to go, right? And so enjoy your journey. Take it as the gift that God's giving you in this journey, right? It's like we talked yesterday, I think it was, about using it as thinking of challenges as explorations, right? And so today it's looking at how everything, everything is always working out for your greater good. So let's go back to the affirmation. I trust that everything is always working out for my highest good. And remember, when we're saying these affirmations to ourselves, we're not just saying them, we're feeling them. You just dive deep into them and just grab that feeling of it. And if you can't get the feeling of it in the moment, sit with it. Sit with it and think, if this were true, would I feel deadpan about it, or would I feel excited? Would I feel lit up? If everything is always working out for my highest good, what would my voice sound like when I said this? And then say it like that. Because remember, we change our physiology with our voice, with our facial expressions, our body posture, right? It changes everything in your body, in your mind. So just remember, you can change how things are showing up for you just by changing that. So let's look at it. If you trusted everything is always working out for your highest good, wouldn't you stand a little bit taller? It doesn't matter what the hell's going on, because I know I got this. I know God is raining down these blessings on me, and I'm just having them, and I'm putting them in my pocket, and I'm carrying them around, right? So if you can adopt that thought, you would stand straighter, right? You would smile more. You might laugh more. You might have more happiness and joy. And your voice would reflect all of that. Because I don't know if you're aware, which you might be. Lightening up. I got this. Good, good. If you pick up the phone when somebody calls you and you're in a good mood, they can hear it in your voice. But if you're not in a good mood, they can hear that in your voice too. It doesn't matter that they can't see you face to face. It comes across in your voice. And so you believing this, it's got to come across in your voice, right? So remember, when you're saying this, if somebody heard you say that, would they believe it? And so if you don't think someone else would believe it, then you don't either. And it's time to kind of maybe release and get some reflection on that and see how can you make that a believable statement for you. What do you need to do? And go for it, right? And that's where the group comes in. I'm here for you. It is amazing, but we can change so much about how we show up in the world with just our posture, our tone of voice, and what we show on our face. I'm actually doing a study right now on face reading, and I've done some of it before, but I'm kind of diving into it a little bit more. And it's amazing stuff, right? And so when you're talking to yourself, it's reflecting in your face too. So lighten up, Buttercup. Let's take this and trust that everything is always working out for my highest good. Now, one of the things I like to say is that get your journal out, your notebook out, put the date up there, put the affirmation in the journal prompt, and then sit, not spit, sit, sit with it for a few minutes. Get into your body, into your space. Quiet your mind, quiet the chatter. And there's so many ways that we can do that. And the way that I like to do it is with being in silence and listening to the sounds around me. Taking in a good deep breath, and then just look at it. And then just brain dump whatever comes up for you. So for the journal prompt, what recent experiences have shown you that things are working out in your favor, even if they didn't seem so at first? So that second part is so powerful, because a lot of the times I don't even know what the percentage would be really, that we think that things didn't work out for us. But then when we can look in hindsight that they were exactly what worked, right? And it brings to mind that Garth Brooks song, Thank God for Unanswered Prayers, right? And so sometimes we're praying and wanting things to work out a certain way, but that's not the best way. It's not the best thing. And with this, you can just kind of release it and say, okay, I got you. What inspiration is going to hit me now for the next step? And then the next step, and then the next step. And stop having ownership of how we get to where we're going. It's just knowing that it's always working out for our greatest good. And so when you write all this stuff down, and then you come back to it later, another day, another month, another year, and you just look at what was coming up for you, you're going to be so amazed. And I know I say this all the time, but it bears to be repeating, because it is amazing when we can write these things down so that we can come back and we can see where we were, right? And so it's really important for us to recognize our journey and how much our lives have changed, maybe just from the people that we've met. Because I can say my life changed when I met Stacey Lauren and I created my podcast. My life changed when I created this group. When I met each one of you guys, my life changed for the better, right? And so everything that comes into your path, every person that comes into your path, you actually have this connection where they take a part of you and you take a part of them, and they're connected with you forever. And so we want to be vibrating out in a level that we are bringing to us the most amazing group of people. And so for those that are not in I almost said the make, well, I did say it, the stand up and stand out community. If you're not part of it and you would like to be part of it, because we are amazing souls, then definitely go to VickiePoole.com, VickiePoole.com, and answer the questions and get in the group. I've recently started this newsletter that comes out once a week, and it has little tidbits and things. And then I pour into this group all the time. There are things that we do in the group that we don't share out. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Let's see. Have a blessed journey. My life changed when I met you. Oh, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful for you too, Wendy. I really am. Who would have even thought, it's like this thing that happens. I went live into a group of someone who is in my Audience Accelerator program. She has a cruise group, and cruise something, I don't remember, but it's about cruising. And Wendy does a lot of cruising. But the only reason I was there was because she said, she was asking questions in our accelerator because we connect and we get in there and we ask people questions and get help with things. And she said she was trying to find out some things that she could talk to everybody about. And she said, so if you were to have something, that what is the one thing that if you before you took your cruise that you would have liked to have known? And so I just popped up and said, well, I had this issue when I went on my cruise that we didn't realize that you had to go down an extra floor and walk to another part of the ship to go up. We thought that all the elevators stopped on this floor where the casino was, right? We thought that was the way we had to go. And we had to walk through the casino to get to the back of the ship. And it wasn't until we took a tour of the one of the things that they offered was a tour of the ship. And that's when we found out that all we had to do was walk over to the next hallway, and there was an elevator that just went all the way up and down. We didn't have to walk all the way to the back. And who knew? We didn't. And so when I shared that in the audience accelerator, she said, oh, she said, that's amazing. She said, I wouldn't have thought of that. She said, how about, can you come in my group and speak and just tell this? I said, sure, I'll do that for you. And that's how I met Wendy. And then Wendy has gotten me in touch with several other people. Now, if I hadn't gone and done that, if I had been closed about it and said, just share the story with them, I don't want to go live. If I had done that, then I wouldn't have met these amazing people that are now part of this group. And so there, you just don't know when you answer somebody's post, when you agree to go live on somebody's group, or you agree to have a conversation with someone, right? You don't know what's going to come from it. If somebody asks you to be on a podcast or, whatever it is, you just don't know that is one of the little threads, right? The little musical notes that are coming around to put you over here. And so I'm very grateful that I was open to just helping her out, right? And so it's amazing how life puts you where you need to be if you're open, right? If you're open. So remember, you can trust that everything is always working out for your highest good, and just be open to that is exactly what's happening, and enjoy the journey, right? Beautiful. All right. So, you guys, like I said, I'm so grateful to have you here and to be part of your lives and have you part of mine, because it has definitely made my journey so much more enjoyable, because I love doing this with you guys. I do so much. That's why I'm here every day, because it just fills my cup a little bit more, and I hope it fills yours. So with that said, let me check real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Thank God for synchronicity. I agree. And it's looking at everything as a synchronicity, right? And recognizing it doesn't matter what happened. It was some synchronicity to get you into the place where you need to be. So today, take this affirmation. I trust that everything is always working out for my highest good. And believe it. Grab it and run with it. Yeah, because it's going to make a difference in today. It'll make a difference in a lot of things. And then your journal prompt. What recent experiences have shown you that things are working out in your favor, even if they didn't seem so at first? And just spend some time with that and enjoy it. Enjoy the journey, right? And I will be here with you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern again. And sparkle, yes. And just like Wendy said, sparkle out into the world and enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. All right. Have a blessed day and a joyful journey. Mwah.